Give me liberty and give me Annette.
Welcome to Annette on Life, Liberty, and Happiness, a podcast where we talk about the Constitution, history, the culture, pretty much anything I want to talk about. This podcast can be found on AnnetteTalks.com, iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, and if you want to see what we look like, go to YouTube. And I'm not sure how today is going to work because we have, for the first time, I'm doing a Zoom meeting with both of my guests, and I'm getting a little feedback. So we'll see. Hopefully the sound quality will be decent. But what I'm going to do today is the second in a series called Civil Discourse. And this is where I try to illustrate that we as a country can disagree agreeably, because it feels to me like the divide in the country has gotten really big, and it kind of worries me when I see people on opposite ends of the political spectrum not able to just come together and disagree. They have to argue and call names and denigrate each other, and I don't see that going in a good place. I think that could lead us to bad places. And it goes against the history of the country and the way the country was founded, that we were all supposed to, that's one of the lessons that George Washington had in his 15 rules for civil conduct or whatever it was called, but was basically able to, it was basically about listening to the other person and understanding and not being uncivil, basically. So today I have two guests. And if you're on YouTube, you can see them. I will start with Jen. This is Jen. Jen, you can introduce yourself and use as much or as little information as you want. First name, last name, whatever you want to share with us. And I know Jen because we went to church together when she lived here in Denver several years ago. So hi, Jen.
Hi.
What would you like to say about yourself? You're a mom, right?
I am a mom. I've got 3 kids. We are in 3 different schools this year, so it's a little crazy. My husband works for an energy company here. I'm also working at the school with the kids. I work in a special education classroom with autism kids.
Wow.
So, yeah, and then we've got some of that going on in our family as well. But that's my big focus now is working with my kids at school, and yeah.
So it's all kids all the time, sounds like.
Pretty much 24/7, yeah.
Yeah, I know what that's like. That can be trying. Rewarding, but very trying. It sucks the energy right out of you.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Jen. And just since I didn't I'll get to the topic later. Let's go to Darryl. Darryl, I know you because we go to church together now. For those of you that don't know me, I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And so we meet in congregations called wards. And Jen was in my ward before, and Darryl's in my ward now. So that's how we all know each other. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Darryl.
Just empty nester, so I don't have to worry about kids right now. But I can definitely tell you empty nesting is overrated. So not really much to tell. Just kind of moved here to Denver about 8 years ago. Been in Colorado for probably about 20 years. Grew up in Wyoming, which is the most conservative state. But so it kind of shows where my background is and where I'm coming from. Where when I say that, from my perspective, I grew up with a very conservative state, and I absolutely cannot stand Trump.
So you introduced the topic for us. Thank you. So as you might have guessed from what Darryl just said, we're going to be talking about Trump because he seems to be like a lightning rod where all the disagreement seems to kind of gather. I did an episode with John Ziegler a while back, and he's kind of where I am politically as far as being a conservative / libertarian. And he has a podcast solely devoted to Trump and what he's doing. And I asked him, why do you think people feel so strongly about Trump? And he made an interesting analogy. He said that he thought that people either saw him as the great and powerful Oz or as the man behind the curtain. And I thought that was really interesting because there seems to be a lot of emotion around the way people view Trump. Like, it's not like, oh, he's an okay guy. It's like, I hate him or I love him. And so I'm trying to figure out partly why that is, but I also wanted to dig in a little bit further because obviously Darryl kind of alluded to the fact that he's anti-Trump. So he's got kind of strong feelings against Trump, but Jen is more pro-Trump, right? So
Yeah.
I want to show that I can have two people on different sides of this, opposite sides of this topic that can have a discussion. So I don't know how it's going to go, but I guess we'll find out. So let's start again with Jen. And can you just tell us why do you like Trump so much?
Well, a little bit of background. First of all, when my husband and I went to the voting booth, we basically pulled that lever against Clinton. We were like, this guy is a wild card. We have no idea. He's really going to have to prove himself. Because we were just like, you know, we knew him as like the Playboy billionaire, but also that, you know, he was a big philanthropist. And we're like, okay, well, we'll see. He's got to prove himself. And he did, in my mind. We are so much better off than we were. Obama killed us. I mean, financially, we lost our house. We jobs, because my husband's job is linked directly to the economy. It was rough. And now that he's been in, and then just recently something specifically for me because of my job, he just allocated funds for autism. So that means I'm not going to have to fight as much for my child personally, because we had to fight to get help for him. Now there are going to be more funds. We're not going to get denied as much. So I'll see more funds for my kids at school. And just, you know, I mean, I would say I'm conservative, but I'm more fiscally conservative. Do what you want. Live how you want to live. Don't drag me into it. Just be a good person. Be a good human. That's kind of my philosophy. Because I can't tell you what to do. Just don't push your stuff on me. But yeah, he's proved himself to us. And like I said, we went into it going, I don't know about this guy. But yeah, that's why I like him. And we're doing a lot better because of policies that he's put in place.
So it sounds like you like what he's done economically.
Absolutely.
And so it sounds like you have kind of a personal investment there because you saw the economy not doing well under Obama, but then you saw it coming back under Trump. And that's why you kind of like him. Did you, going back to, you said you went into the voting booth, did you hesitate after the stuff that Trump had said that came out, you know, the videotape about what he said about women? Did that factor in at all? Or?
No, because I watch a lot of independent news. I listen to a lot of different news outlets, and everybody's got their opinion. And I knew years ago that, you know, like CNN, MSNBC, sorry, Darryl, that's what you're watching. But I knew to take that, what they said, with a grain of salt. And then, you know, Fox is, you know, on its side too. So you've got to really weigh it. And that's why independent news is so important. So I watch it all. I pay attention to all of it, and I make my own decision. And, you know, with that supposed stuff that he said, I'm like, he can run his mouth. I'm not going to lie. But I'd rather have someone who's transparent. And this is kind of how I am too. I say what I think. I'd rather have somebody like that than a smooth talker like Obama.
All right.
Because he can do anybody any good.
All right, Darryl, I can see your head shaking. For those of you that can't see the video, I can feel Darryl ready to talk down there. Go ahead, Darryl.
Well, I mean, you can talk about economic policies and all those things and disagree and agree about those. But to say talks about what the dude cannot tell the truth. It's as simple as that. In the video he's talking about, he's degrading women, he's misogynistic, he's cheated on every wife he's had. The dude, I mean, policies are one thing, but to say that I'm gonna look past all that, it's okay. I'm gonna sell my soul because I like what he's doing. I don't care how he lies. I don't care that he can't tell the truth. That bugs me. That's why I'm an anti-Trumper, because the dude cannot tell the truth. I mean, right now he's taking credit for Obamacare. I'm the one who's fighting for which is really weird. It's only an American where you have the pre-existing conditions. But he's coming out on a tweet, said, I'm the one who did the pre-existing conditions, and I'm the only one that's going to fight for it, which is absolutely everything he's been against from the beginning. I mean, I can go on and on about all the lies he does, all the things he said. He attacks people. You know, anybody that goes against him, they attack people. Everybody that's associated with him is going to jail. So it's not about the policies for me. It's about the person.
So you're saying it's more of a character issue?
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
Yes.
So your
well, there's a lot of things. I don't agree with a lot of his policies, but I mean, let's start about when you're saying that he's shoots from the hip there and he talks the truth. He doesn't tell the truth. I mean, he may say what's on his mind, but 5 minutes later, he'll say the exact opposite and say he didn't say what he said 5 minutes ago. And you cannot trust the person. I mean, look at Iran. Like, hey, this person was planning to attack the embassy. Okay, maybe he wasn't, but look at all the bad stuff he did in the past. You know what? Maybe that's true, but now, so you're just saying somebody can come in and kill him because look at all the stuff he was thinking about doing. I mean, that you're opening doors.
Backpedaling is he says stuff and then everybody around him is like, oh, wait, shut up. We're not supposed to say that. What are you doing? You're running your mouth again. I don't know. I appreciate his candor.
Well, it seems.
Okay.
I know he gets in trouble for it.
So there's a big question.
But that's why I say you push it. Everybody pushes it under the rug, saying, you know what? I'm going to turn a blind eye. I don't care what he truly feels like. I mean, look at Virginia. There's good people on both sides. I don't care who you are. If you think you're a better person because you're white over any other race, religion, color, you're not a good person. And for him to say that they are, that shows his true feelings.
I see Jen thinking. So it just seems like half the country is kind of feels like he never tells the truth at all, and the other half of the country says he's always telling the truth. I don't know. I don't even know.
I think he's somewhere in the middle. I mean, he's a human being. We're all human beings. Sometimes we fib. Sometimes we shoot from the hip and just say it like it is. And other times we got to choose carefully. And I mean, I feel like he would not be as successful as he is if he didn't understand people. I mean, I said when he went to Korea, I'm like, you know, North Korea, I'm like, only Trump go to North Korea, I guess. I mean, just like only Nixon go to China. It's hard. And I think part of it too is we live in this society where it's like, if you're not with me, you're against me. And I think, Annette, you alluded to that when you were first talking about, you know, our society today. And that's a huge problem where we can't come together. It's like, well, I hate it and you're wrong. Well, I love it and you're wrong. And we can't do that because we'll never meet in the middle if it's that whole, if you don't agree with me, you're against me. And it's like, that's not true, because I think just by human nature, you've got a little bit of truth here and a little bit of lie here, regardless of who it is.
Right, but he perpetuates that by saying, if you don't agree with me, you're un-American. You cannot tell me you don't see all those. You don't agree with me, you're un-American. But my way is the only way. If you don't agree with me, you're un-American. You cannot tell me that's not the rallying cry right now.
I've not gotten that from him. I say he's a patriot. I'm a big patriot. I mean, I'm sure you are too. But that's where I think he's coming from. And it's perception. It really is. It really is perception. Like how I perceive it is probably different from how you perceive it. Like when I see stuff, Trump said this today, and I'm like, what? I don't believe half of it.
But those are his exact words. Said the un-American, the unpatriotic Democrats. Those are his exact words.
Well, they are un-American. They are unpatriotic. They're like, they support Antifa. They are ridiculous. I think they're ridiculous. I mean, the whole impeachment thing that's going on right now, seriously. Can we like spend money on like my autism kids instead than stupid trying to bring him down just because you're pissed that Hillary didn't win, you know?
I could care less. I'm not saying I'm a Hillary fan, but don't give me that crap. Don't tell me don't tell me what I support, and don't tell me what the whole party supports.
Oh no, not you. I'm just speaking in generality, just in general, not you specifically, because I have no idea.
Right, but it's saying that all they are un-American. No, Democrats not un-American. I am a Democrat. I'm a dang American. I'm dang patriotic. Don't tell me I'm not. Don't tell me because of what party I'm affiliated with.
Like Tulsi Gabbard, moderate.
If you look at the political parties right now, most Democrats we would consider Republicans back in the 80s. It has swung so far to the right that's what it is. And you can look it up. I mean, there's so many studies that show that.
Well,
but
what
the
about
problem of
Planned
it is,
Parenthood, all the funding for that? Trump said we don't want to do that anymore. Abortion's evil. We shouldn't be doing. I mean, we know that that's wrong.
no, I agree with abortion. I think I have no problem.
Spiritually, doctrinally speaking, we're like totally against that. But it's like they're all over that. Planned Parenthood, all the funding that's going to them. I'm like, how can they?
No. Wait. So that's a misnomer, because no federal money can ever go to an abortion. So they do not spend any money on abortions. So you can't say the Planned Parenthood is getting money for abortion federally government, because it is illegal, and they do not. Look it up. It is 100% fact.
Okay, I have a question for you guys. What do you think about pineapple on pizza?
I think
okay. You're asking me in Italian, so, it's all right.
It's all right? You both think pineapple on pizza is okay?
Yeah.
It's not my favorite, but I don't turn it down. It's pizza.
Yeah, if it's there, I'll eat it for sure. It's pizza.
What about the Broncos? For or against?
I'm a Cowboys fan.
Oh, you are.
I don't care about sports at all.
Okay.
I
That's funny. I thought, because Jen used to be from Denver and Darryl is in Denver, and I was just talking to my studio audience earlier about how I moved to Denver, and I realized it was like almost a religion here. The Broncos are so.
Oh, the Bears are a religion here in Chicago.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah, big time.
And depending on where you live, it's either the Cubs or the White Sox.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're South Side. The Cubs. We do Sox, yeah, for sure.
So, Darryl, which Democratic candidate do you like right now for presidency?
That's tough. That is a tough one. I mean, I like characteristics of some of them and don't like characteristics of other ones. Biden's more of a moderate, but he says a lot of stupid stuff.
We can agree on that, Darryl.
Yeah, but I mean, I'll tell you right now. I mean, it's going to be, and I like a lot of Warren's okay. I mean, it's
she
Bernie.
lied.
Bernie.
She's a liar.
Oh, really? You want to talk about her lies, and you're standing up for Trump? Really?
Well, I think we can agree that most politicians lie.
You can look.
True. Very true. They all lie.
So yeah.
And also, you said that Biden misspeaks sometimes. I think there's something going on with him, like age.
I'm wondering if he's got dementia or something, because
something's going on there. But also, just as someone that talks a lot publicly, I know it's easy to start goofing up. And so, if he makes mistakes once or twice, you can just chalk that up to he's having a bad night, or maybe he's tired or whatever. But when it happens again and again, you have to think might be something going on there. But that'll be interesting to watch. So you're not a.
Well, I mean, it could be something where he's not very good at public speaking. I mean, he hasn't really had to do these debates for a long time. So I don't know. Like I said, he's more martyr. Bernie's not. I like a lot of Bernie's stuff. Please.
He's socialist. He's terrifying. We'll all be living in cardboard boxes on the street under the bridge if he gets elected.
Please. No, he wouldn't. I don't believe in socialists, but nobody's ever perpetuated for the socialists. But everybody always brings up Venezuela, and Venezuela, the only problem with them is they 100% were dependent on oil. 90% of their economy is on oil. When oil prices went down, their economy tanked. Simple as that. Nothing to do with socialism. Look at all the European countries. We're the only major organized nationalized or industrialized country that does not have socialized medicine. Only country.
Yeah, no, thank you. I've got my cousin's aunt is on life support in Italy right now, and it's because she went in for a routine exam, and then because they didn't have a bed available for her after the test went haywire, she's on life support. She's probably going to die. They killed her just doing a routine MRI. They didn't have the staff, the support. She sat in a bed where she wasn't they didn't have the ability to evacuate her to a better hospital. And I've got a friend in Canada. I've got family in Canada too. One friend, she had an abscess, in a tooth abscess. And she had to wait 2 months. I think they said, if we can get you in sooner, we will. But right now you're on the list, and this is her care representative that you call to make your appointment for them to get you to the doctor. You don't get to call the doctor's office yourself. Yeah, they're like, oh, it'll be 2 months. And it's like, okay, she could have sepsis in 2 months from an abscess. So yeah, no thanks to socialized medicine.
I got friends from Sweden say that's the greatest care they have. I got friends from England. Got friends from
But
Canada.
I thought Sweden was not actually socialism. I thought it was the social republic or something.
That's Denmark. That's what they're trying to model it off of, and that's when everybody does the argument. They're not social. No, it's exactly what they're trying to model it off of. They have free education, free healthcare, free daycare, happiest people in the world, and that's what they're trying to go for.
So
I mean,
are you talking about Sweden right now?
Sweden or Denmark?
All the Europe, yeah, Denmark, Sweden.
Well, yeah, they have all that stuff, but I have a friend that lives in Denmark, and income tax is like 50%, and they can afford one car, and they live in a really tiny little apartment. So, I mean, if you wanted that kind of a trade-off, that's what you're talking about. So it's not.
You're paying that now. You're paying that now. How much do you pay for daycare? How much do you pay for your deductibles? How much do you pay for your insurance every month? Guarantee it goes up to around 40-50%. It's the same thing.
But
you're already paying for it.
Their cost of living is so much higher that they can't afford to. The living standards are not even comparable. So yeah, they might have health insurance, but they can't afford a second car for the second person. This is what my friend told me that lives there, because I
have friends that live there too, and they have a problem. But most people here can't afford a second car, can't afford daycare, have to work 2-3 jobs to support themselves. I mean, it's not any different here.
So, well, we can have a really long debate on socialism sometime.
Yeah, let's move on from that.
What I want to know is, let's see, Jen, is there anything that you did like about Obama?
No.
Not at all, not.
Oh, a lot of his policies, executive orders, there was an executive order that he put in for DOD funding that directly affected my husband's job, and he lost his job. And we are still we're still trying to get caught up from that loss. And just, yeah.
What about Bill Clinton? I'm reaching back here.
I think that was my first, it was Perot, Bush, and Clinton. That was my first election that I could vote in. Would we say, my friends and I, we were all on the Perot bandwagon, independence.
Uh-huh.
Bush is evil, Clinton's dumb, Perot is number one. That was our little
funny.
signs and stuff. Wow. But I ended up voting for Bush because Clinton scared me.
Well, didn't Perot want 50-cent gallon?
He wanted a big gas tax. Yeah. But it's like what we're paying in Illinois for gas tax right now. Whatever.
So is there anything any Democrat has done recently that you like?
I like Tulsi Gabbard. I really do.
All right. Why is that?
I think if they picked her, she could give Trump a run for her money because she's a patriot, because she understands what's going on around the globe. And when she speaks, she's clear and concise. And I appreciate her approach to things. She doesn't sound like she's trying to put one over on you. You know what I mean? Like the other ones, they're trying to.
She doesn't sound like a politician.
Everyone, more broader base. Where the real lefty ones, oh yeah, we're gonna give all of your stuff away to these people who shouldn't even be here. And I'm like, I don't think so. I don't want you as my president. You're gonna give these people who are coming here illegally, go back and come here the right way. Because my grandparents came here the right way. I was almost first generation Italian here. My grandma was pregnant with my mom when she came over on the boat, and they came here legally. My grandpa had to wait. My great grandpa actually served for the American side. My grandpa served on Mussolini's side, but they did it the right way. And when these people come over here and say, hey, give me stuff, and we've got presidential candidates saying, yeah, we're going to give them health care. We're going to provide for them, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, no, that spits in my face. That spits in the faces of my family who did it the right way. And yeah, I can't handle those people who are trying to appease whatever base they're trying to appease for votes. And that just drives me crazy because it's insulting. But I like Tulsi because she's a patriot.
So, and she doesn't talk like a politician is what it sounds like. So you can basically, you feel like you can trust her and she's a decent human being.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. So Darryl, is there anything at all about Trump that you like? Or anything that he's done that you like?
No, I mean, they're talking about going for the opioid crisis. I agree with that. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous how they just want to prescribe pills for everything. Problem I have with it is when Obama brought it up, McConnell said that's just a waste of money. So now that Trump brings it up, hey, that's a great idea. I hate the hypocrisy of it.
So are there any politicians on the right that you like or that you would vote for? Like, let's say if somebody else was running other than Trump, let's say they had a primary and Trump lost. Are there any Republican candidates that you would vote for president?
Good question. They haven't, none of them have announced, so I don't think any of the ones that would.
How did you feel about Ted Cruz last time around? Because that's who I was for. I was for Cruz all the way.
Yeah.
How did you feel about him last time? Because I was like, Trump, I don't know about him. He's a wild card, so I was really on Cruz bandwagon.
Mm-hmm.
And Cruz had his Ted Cruz, I mean, I'll give him credit when he actually does common sense every once in a while. I mean, he almost got beat by Beto, but you look at, I'll give you a perfect example. In Wisconsin, there was a dude, 100% racist, KKK, got on the ballot. He has no chance winning. It's a Democratic entry, but he had no chance of winning. The governor of Wisconsin said, Ted Cruz went, hey, you know what? This guy is an avowed bigot, vote Democrat. The Wisconsin governor said, no, I would never say vote for a Democrat. We try to get him off the ballot, but you know what? You got to vote Republican still. That just tells me how divided this country is. When somebody with common sense, it gets ignored. Do I like Ted Cruz? Not really. But, I mean, he's a lesser of evil. I would choose him over Trump in a heartbeat.
I get that impression. So you both would like someone that you feel like is telling the truth, someone that's honest, someone that is using common sense, someone that cares about the country. I'm thinking those are all things you would probably agree on.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Here, another question: dark or milk chocolate?
Milk.
Or had dark milk chocolate or just dark chocolate milk?
Dark or milk?
Oh, for candy? Oh yeah, dark chocolate, 100%.
Dark in your milk. All right. Well,
more antioxidants.
What's that?
More antioxidants. I can justify eating it.
All right. What about mayonnaise or Miracle Whip?
Oh gosh, mayonnaise.
Miracle Whip.
You know, I think it would be fun.
Darryl, no!
I think it would be fun to do like some kind of a poll where you try to find out, is it along party lines that do Republicans like mayonnaise and Democrats like Miracle Whip, you know, or dark or milk. I think that would be a fun, or pizza, or pineapple or no pineapple on pizza, because you guys are pretty divided on a lot of things, not just politically speaking. But well, this has been fun. Yeah, does either one of you want to say anything before we wrap this up?
I had a good time. It was fun. It was fun meeting you, Darryl. Annette, love you, girl. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice to meet you. I guess Blue Wave in October. It's the only thing I can hope for.
Well, I keep hoping for like, what was that bumper sticker that said, 2020 big comet to come in or something like that. I'm like, can we have?
Or the aliens have to show up so that we can all get our stuff together and go, hey, we're the human race. We're all one big family.
Right.
I think.
Beat the
Well,
aliens.
and you brought up Washington at the beginning, and he was talking about that there should be no political parties. And when he did the thing, he said there should be no political parties, and this is what he envisioned.
Yeah.
I mean, right now, it's perfectly illustrated. You say it's either with us or against us. Both sides calling each other unpatriotic. Both sides calling each other un-American. That you're going, you go this road. Both of them will do pictures of Hitler saying both of them are doing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
The problem I see is that there's not one candidate that is actually trying to work together. Right now, it is 100%. We're just going to try to rile up the minority because they're the loudest. I think still the majority of people are down the middle, but the loudest people are the ones on the far right and the far left, and they're the ones getting the attention, and that's where it gets to the extremes are starting to creep more into the mainstream, and that's where it's getting scary. And that's one of the biggest problems I have with the current president is he likes to higher up his base to try to get people to have that emotion and just a 100% draw a line in the sand. No matter what I say, it's correct. Even if I say the exact opposite 5 minutes later, you got to believe what I say, no matter what I say. And I think that's killing this country.
All right. Well, I think we can all agree that the parties are not working well, and it would be good to see some major change to that, and to see us be a lot less divisive. Is it divisive or divisive?
Divisive would be when you're like this. Divisive is like separating.
All right. So I think we're going to wrap it up. I had fun with this discussion. I appreciate you both being willing to come on and have a friendly disagreement. And, the goal is not to change minds, because we're not going to, but just to show that we can be in the same room or on the same Zoom meeting, same video, and disagree, but still walk away feeling like we were at least heard and respected and not denigrated. So thank you both for being on and expressing your views and listening to each other and helping me to illustrate this point. So thank you, guys. I'm going to wrap up now.
All right. Thanks, Annette.
You're welcome. Thank you for listening to Annette on Life, Liberty, and Happiness. Again, you can be found on AnnetteTalks.com, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify. And if you want to leave comments, please do so on AnnetteTalks.com or Facebook or YouTube.